Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Remote Tribe Podcast. I'm here with the international lawyer Mo. We're going to be talking today about the UAE tax, the famous UAE tax, which can be heaven or hell, depending how you look at it. So my name is Andrew Williams. I am the founder and the chief editor of Remote Tribe, which is a digital magazine for remote workers and digital nomads. And amongst others, we also help people getting a tax-free residence or registering their company in a low tax environment. And that's why we have international lawyer here, Mo, to tell us more about Dubai and the UAE and how things work there for entrepreneurs. So, Mo, go ahead.
Thanks so much, Andrew. It's been a pleasure getting back to the video, the podcast, and my name is Mohamed Aboshanab. You can always call me Mo. I'm an international lawyer, and the United Arab Emirates of Dubai is a very interesting topic. And once I publish that, we will do like special episode and podcast about it. I've received hundreds and hundreds of messages and questions in different social media because it's a very interesting topic, and there is you can say there is hidden information which need to be revealed about how is excellent is Dubai and how you can benefit as a digital nomad or global citizen from reducing your tax down to in some percent zeros.
So, well, first of all, why do you think UAE has become such a popular place for business people and entrepreneurs?
The UAE, or it's let's give like a brief introduction about the UAE. UAE is its country called United Arab Emirates. It's located in the Gulf, which is just a couple of. It's in the middle between the Middle East and then Asia. So it's an Asian country. One of the things that made the United Arab Emirates, or everyone's call it, it's Dubai. Dubai, by the way, is not the capital. It's the second largest city, or the most famous city, but the capital is called Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is the official capital of the United Arab Emirates, and the UAE is like it's similar to they have 7 states, or they call them in Arabic Imara. Imara is mean like state, and they have a crown prince for each state, and they have a ruler crown prince for the whole the United Arab Emirates. Dubai is the second largest one, but is the most famous. When you say the UAE, people just think about it as Dubai. And the reason is that because it's have a kind like a centralized place between the West and the East, between Asia, Europe, and Africa. And starting from the 1990s, their Dubai International Airport was as a hub for connecting flights that moving between Europe to Asia or Europe to Australia and New Zealand. So it's getting that's what the first thing that happened. And then the country opened itself as, you can say, not a tax haven, but as destination for business in the Middle East and Africa. If you would like to set up any
and I guess,
major...
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, finish the demo.
It's if you are a major business, whatever you are, Microsoft or a tech business, or even selling products or services, and you would like to set up a shop in the Middle East and Africa, Dubai was the first place, or you can say the favorable destination. They have an extremely, they have a zero tax. That's one of the point of attractions. You can get as visas, you can hire foreign workers as you wish. And they have the least red tape to start and operating a business. And this is what the 1990s and then the 2000s, where you can operate a business, not digitally 100%, but you are moving products. They have the ports, they have the airport, the infrastructure they have built in a place which is miss all the, you can say it's compared to London, New York, Singapore, Hong Kong. It's taken place in the world. In this region, it's the best.
It's pretty amazing what they managed to do in less than, I would say, 30 years. And they're already competing with the big hubs like Hong Kong and Shanghai and New York and London. So Mo, for our viewers who haven't been to Dubai, but they're very tempted to go there or at least register a company, what can you tell us about the business environment, the population, and the expat community?
The UAE have a very unique place in the world because 90%, you can say 90 to 90% of the population in the country actually are the expats. They are not originally or citizens of the United Arab Emirates. The locals, or they call them Emiratis, or the people who have the nationality of the country, are very tiny compared to the large expats community. And this expat community, it's mainly coming from Philippines, India, Pakistan, UK, US, Europe, and then everywhere. So that's like the largest numbers of nationals. And then you can compare people from anywhere. They have people from Africa, from Middle East, from Latin America, who are actually, you can say it's 195% nationalities living in the country.
Yeah, that's impressive. I think it's one of the only places in the world that's so international.
Yes. So whatever your background, or whatever your favor, or whatever your color or language, you will find people that like you. That's one of the things that attract everyone.
Yeah, I remember when I was there in, I think, 2012 maybe, or maybe later, that it was really international. Like you had everything you needed, from restaurants to, everyone speaks English. You feel pretty well there. That's great. So that's another incentive for people at least trying it for a while, or being there for a short while to do the number of days they're required to do if they want the residency. And then, then they can go wherever they want to in the world. So how about the economy, Mo? Like what are they based on? What can you tell us about the industries in Dubai, and what kind of jobs or businesses are there?
I mean, the number one business in the UAE itself is oil and gas. It's like they call them the Gulf countries, which is very famous. The exporting oil, the creating so oil and gas, and then it's come other service, tourism and services. They have a financial services industry. They have a very huge. I mean, Dubai is one of the I'm not sure, but it's one of the 10 most visited cities in the world, including with London, with New York, and the other city in in Thailand. It's Bangkok. So it's ranked during the last Bangkok. They are ranked on the 10 most visited city all over the world. So you can have the services, tourism, financial industry, and oil and gas.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So I guess, is there any, in your opinion, Mo, is there any niche that people can use to open up a business in Dubai, like literally doing business in Dubai for the local people? Is there still a place for that?
Yes, definitely. If you are serving or you're providing an international base to expats, because it's 95% almost expats. So if you're providing any services to expat communities, you will be able to do it from Dubai. Whatever you are.
So you can do business outside the UAE and also inside the UAE, because the market, it's an English market and an international market.
That's one thing, but you have to be sure that if you come to the UAE or Dubai to set up a business, and you would like to do business locally with the country itself, the business setup is different if you are just doing business internationally. That's one of the mistakes people understand. Yeah.
That's actually really good to know, because I don't think that's a widespread news. Cool, Mo. Okay, that's cool. Anything else you want to mention about Dubai that makes it so special that you haven't said already?
It's actually the official language is not English. I mean, the English is spoken everywhere in the official documents. Everywhere you go to, it's English. But actually, the official language of the country is the Arabic. But they have built everything around the English language. The rules, the regulation, the banks. If you know, read or speak English, whatever your English is not very strong, I mean, your life will be much more simple and easy, because it's an expat community, so they have different accents. It's not like going to London and New York and you find it very hard to understand the local English that they are using, or the accent or slangs. But in Dubai, whatever the way you speak English, even with a different way, it's very easy to understand and go. That's why it's very favorite destination.
Yeah, it's the international English as they call it, I
Yes.
guess. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Mo, thanks a lot for sharing that. Really, really cool insights. Some of them I didn't know myself, but I hope our viewers will find them very interesting. And let's jump into the agenda right now. We've got a lot of good things to talk about. So first of all, I want to ask you, why did you name this show Heaven or Hell?
It's first, it's like there's a lot of misinformation on the good side, on the bad side about the UAE. If you find like a service company or someone is selling or providing, is trying to sell something out Dubai or the UAE, they say everything is amazing, the streets are clean, the place is safe, you pay zero taxes, all your problems will be solved once you land in the country. That actually, yes, but you have to understand it's actually a country. So you have to understand the process itself. It's much better than, you can say, 99% of other places, but also not expecting that you're moving to, you can say, zero free problems. That's because when you
Such like that doesn't exist. I think we both know. Yeah.
Yes, it's not Disneyland. That's the thing.
Pros and cons. Yes,
there's pros and cons. So if you are over expected something and you didn't get it or you didn't find it, you will be, you can say, disappointed.
So yeah, so your expectations should be set as accordingly. Remember, you are moving to a Muslim country, first of all. They have different rules. Also, it's an international environment, so you're going to find some things to do or to say. And then on the other side of the balance, you have a tax-free country, amazing services, and amazing safety, which I think it's a good deal.
Yes, that's one of the misconceptions. What I will tell myself, because there's like misunderstanding, because you can find people say, if you go there, they will cut your hand because you're doing something wrong. And the other side, you can do whatever you wish. It's like London or New York. No.
As long as you abide the local laws and traditions, of course.
It's not as bad as the bad side. It's not good. It's not like London or New York. It's different. It's a mix. I can tell you, it's like if you have been to Hong Kong or Singapore and then mix it with the you can say the Middle East culture. It's like if you put Singapore and Turkey in one country or one city, you can get Dubai. It's very skyscraper, very clean, very efficient, very safe. And at the same time, you can get the feel of the cultures and the traditions. And that's the mix. That's how you put Dubai in the world.
Mm-hmm. So Mo, what do you think it's the first of all, tell us about people that are moving to Dubai, as digital nomads or entrepreneurs. So first of all, is it popular with the new entrepreneurs, the new age entrepreneurs, to move to Dubai, and why is that?
There is, if you just Google, there is very famous YouTubers and very famous social media influencers and content creations have moved to Dubai during the last 2-3 years, especially after the lockdown in different countries. And we are start marketing that we are based our businesses there. We start taking shots, and we it's like we using the place. They call them internet influencers headquarter in the world, because it's the first attraction is that if you are running 100% business online, whatever your business you are doing, if you move it to Dubai, you will pay zero tax, which is correct.
Yes. Okay, that's very interesting to know. So have you seen an increase of internet influencers that are requesting this kind of services? Is that true? Is it really happening?
Definitely, yeah. And they have a different level of services. If you are just starting a business, or you're being and make like a decent income, and you would like to set up yourself or move yourself, or having another entity, as we discussed in the other episodes, you can set up as Dubai as low as 10K USD. That's
the minimum starting.
That's the minimum. It's not a month, and you pay this per year. This is including your resident visa, your company setup, and this is including everything you need to get started.
So Mo, hold on. That's the starting package, or do you need to have that money in your account every year? Minimum?
No. They don't. They have different types of visas, but we can stay with the standard with the biggest. You can say basic minimum package. You need to get yourself up and running. It's 10K. You pay them this per year to keep the company running, and your visa is approved each 2 years.
And then you can use the money in the account to run the business. They're not blocked.
No, the money will be paid for the services. Would be the cost you pay to get your resident visa at the company. It's not like other country.
Yeah.
It's not like other country. You have to show X amount of money to get the visa. No. They say, for example, if you would like, for John, an entrepreneur in the UK, he would like to move to Dubai, and he signed with me as my service, as I will be his service provider in the UAE. He will pay me 10K. I will get him the visa resident and the company, and that's the basic package. And he have to pay this 10K USD each year. That's it.
Okay. So that's a cost that has to be considered. So I guess,
yes.
Entrepreneurs and influencers who want to do this move, they have to consider that. It's not cheap, it's not expensive, I would say.
No.
But that actually brings us to the second point, which is how does Dubai compare to other tax-free countries where you can set up your company? Like, I don't know, US with the LLC, and then Gibraltar and so on and so forth. So Mo, maybe you can tell us maybe like the pros and the cons of opening up a company in Dubai vs these countries I just mentioned.
The cost is in the medium. It's not low and it's not high. I can compare it. It's not low as UK or the US or Canada, which is high tax countries. And it's not high as the Cayman Island or Mauritius, which is, it's very expensive to set up a shop there in this country. It's in the middle. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. But the price, your package could go up to an average from 15, 20, 25, depending on what kind of services do you require. Are you required to have a family that you would like to bring in? You would like to have local workers, and this local workers not from the local economy, but they are foreigners who would like to work for your company locally. How many bank accounts you would like to? Its starting point is 10K, and then you keep adding services you need to pay or you renew each year. That's the thing. But there's one thing. It's not a catch. That's the benefit. You pay a premium to get the service up and running, but you don't pay anything else during the year. There's no taxes. There's no overhead, you can say, fees or things ongoing to keep the company running. Once you pay the license each year.
And there's no minimum revenue you need in year 1 or year 2?
No.
Okay, that's great.
That's even if your company is make nothing, you just register the company, have the bank account resident, and you didn't live even in the country. You actually don't need to do anything. That's why it's very favorite with people who are global citizen or keep traveling all around the world, and they need a base. And when I see base, the first benefit here that it's actually a country. It's not small island as the island we expect. It's not like Cayman Island or Mauritius or the Caribbeans.
It's a place where you can actually live and enjoy, and you're also in the middle of the world, literally. Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing. So it's actually country. It have all the services, and whatever you need, you will find it there. They have Amazon, they have very extremely good internet, they are very well connected airport, everything that you need to have a base, you will have. So you'll not miss something, whatever you would like to leave there, or actually just register a business and live somewhere else.
Yeah. So let me ask you more then, compared to other low tax countries, why would you register? Why would you not register in Dubai and you would go to other countries like, I don't know, maybe Cyprus or Gibraltar or Cayman? Like, what's your counter argument for not going to Dubai if there is such thing?
Yes, there's many arguments. If you are trading only with for example, in the EU, and you need to have a VAT registered EU business, and your all business transaction with the EU member state, I don't advise you to go to the United Arab Emirates. That's the thing.
What if I deal with the whole world, and
The
I
whole
had to
world.
deal with the EU as well.
If you have customers from everywhere, the UAE is the
Yeah.
best location because
Mhm.
it's zero tax. You have lowest rate tape, and it's a very favorable destination to do business. I mean, I will tell you one. There's like they have the headquarter of most of the crypto business. The Binance is its headquarter in the UAE from a very long time, and it will be able to expand and go and grow in other markets from their UE headquarters. So it's not, it's wherever you are just starting or have like a medium revenue as an entrepreneur, or you are trying to build the next $1 billion company, UAE is one of the best destination to base yourself there.
Great. Sounds ideal. But that brings us to another interesting subject, which is how should you avoid what things should you avoid when moving to Dubai, and the common mistakes people do or entrepreneurs do.
The first common mistake is that you find an ad on the YouTube or the Facebook that you will pay like $2,000-3,000 and they will set up everything, and then you find this is like a good deal. This is actually not a good deal because this ads, it's a marketing. They try to attract you with a very low price, and then once you go there, this marketing company just they work by the numbers, how many numbers they registered, but actually they'll not be able. That's not the actual price that you pay to get yourself set up there. That's just the start. Not the minimum.
There's no way to avoid that 10K amount you just mentioned. You will end up.
It's you need to have. I will tell you why it's starting from 10K. You need to have a good service provider who will get things up and running as soon as possible. That's the first thing. So it costs. There's other service provider who can keep you waiting for weeks and weeks and weeks. And each week you keep delay, that's mean costing you. You already started. Once you register the business, it's starting for 1 year. So you're losing time if you're not getting up and running as soon as possible. That's the first thing. The second thing, you will need to open a bank account. I've seen many entrepreneurs who set up the business there, and they say my provider doesn't provide me with a bank account and tell me you have to do it yourself. So you need a proper introduction to local bank, and they have online bankings like Wise or a Revolut or something like similar. They have a similar setup, but if you are having you can start with the local remotely bank, but you need to have a proper bank. You can say it high street banks, so like they have a very good high standard local banks. You need to open the bank yourself. Once you get the residence card, you have to go there and open the bank. You have to do like an old fashioned meeting face to face to open the bank. So that's okay. I think
And you do have to go there in person when you open the company in Dubai.
It's not at the beginning, but if you would like to get the residence card and open the bank account physically, you have to be there. You don't need to live there. You just need to stay at least, I advise at least 2 weeks. That's the minimum.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. So in terms of adapting to, the new life in Dubai, if you decide to live there for the minimum, which I think is like 3 months more, what's the minimum amount you have to stay in the country?
The minimum, we can say it in different stages. If you register the business there and you spend the 2 weeks, you get the residence card and you open the bank account, you can leave the country and just come 1 day each 6 months, just 1 day each 6 months.
That's fantastic. Okay, so let's say people decide they like it. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but if you would like to get a tax residency, a certificate, say that you are tax resident in the UAE, if your country or your home country need this certificate, you need to spend at least 90 days per year.
Okay, so let's say people, they like it, they decide to spend these 90 days a year or even more. But then they have to understand some of the rules and some of the habits there. So what would you say is like the biggest cultural shock, and what should people know when they move to the UAE?
I think it's depending where you're coming from. If you're coming from London, example, the you will have a lot of British influence in the UAE because it was occupied by the UK for a long time. So there is many UK nationals that live there. Even they prefer the British accent. So you will feel like you'll find Costa, you'll find many favorite brand, Marcus Spencer, all the you'll not feel away from home. But one of the first culture shock that you will see that the structure of the city is different because it was built 20 years ago, maximum, or 30 years ago. So everything is new. You don't have old houses or the oldest district they have is almost 40 years ago. Okay, so it's a very old Dubai, and then that's one of the culture stuff. It's extremely safe. I mean, there's many YouTubes or videos on the internet that I left my wallet was $5,000 and no one touched it. That could be a culture shock. There's the city itself is very well governed and controlled, so they're extremely. But you don't have actually to do just throw the money in the on the street, and no, don't be as naive or silly, but try to. It's safe. It's extremely safe compared with other similar cosmopolitan cities. That's
also. So one thing I noticed there, I've been to Dubai twice in my life. I think I'm gonna go one more time after this show anyway. So one thing I noticed, and it might be a cultural shock mostly for Europeans, is that you have to use the car everywhere. You can't really walk it. There are some areas in Dubai that you can walk, but most of the times you have to use a taxi or your own car or rent a car. And for a European who wants to discover the city by walking and admire the buildings, it's not that easy. So expect to be in the car a lot of time, and also to be in the air conditioning a lot of time, because that's how it is there. It's a brand new city with infrastructure for cars mostly, I would say. But you can also find areas like the marina, which are beautiful, and then you can have a walk and enjoy life for the areas near the beaches.
I will give you a different perspective because you visited in almost 10 years ago. They start using less cars now. They have a very good public transportation. They have buses. They have not an underground, but they have a metro. It's called Metro Dubai. So you don't need to rely on the car as much as often than 10 years ago. That's the first thing. It's not very walkable because there's some places, even if you are getting out of the airport, to go out to the airport, there is no way to go on foot. You have to use a car. Mm-hmm. The city is designed to 100% car friendly, but in the same time, you can find spots like the marina or the Dubai where you can walk. And about the weather, it's like the weather is extremely hot from May to October. That's where things are getting uncomfortable. Even if you're, it's more complicated. If you are not living there, or don't try to visit from May to October. After October, it's like November, December, and then until the May. April,
the best month to be in.
It's the best. It's the best weather in the world. It's very calm. I mean, you can enjoy. Weather in the weather in Europe, it's cold and rainy, and but there you will enjoy the sun. You can do a lot of outdoor activities. So it's like the other way of the round, where you can get the benefits in different days or different ways of the year.
Yeah, and in terms of, I think there are a lot of questions from people about the social status. Like, is it friendly to single people, to married people? So how do the Emiratis see the people coming there which are single, for example? Is it a problem?
No, I mean the country itself or the locals are they are very welcoming, friendly, because they have seen expats or non-nationals coming for years and years. The city itself is built in welcoming people. So whatever you are, whatever your background, whatever your religion, ethnicity, color, or how you speak, you will not find yourself not feeling welcoming, because it's like the city of everyone. That's the thing. It doesn't have
inclusive, yeah.
Yes. It doesn't have the feel like in for example in New York, that you feel it's like you're in a Big Apple, or this is everything is Americanized. You feel that you are in America. If you are not understanding everything, you'll not get by the locals. No, it's international city by the standard, and whatever how you look or feel, you'll not feel that you are different. That's the thing.
And more talking about that, I actually have an impromptu question here. How would you advise people to network in Dubai? And is there a digital nomad community or like a crypto community? I guess there is one, but what would you advise people to? How would you advise people to network and socialize in Dubai, like also socially, but also on the business side?
Whatever is your interest, you will find the local community for it. If you, for example, if you are interested in crypto, you can find crypto meetings in Dubai, and you'll find hundreds and hundreds of small clubs or social meetings, or you can find Facebook groups or LinkedIn. Whatever, it's free or premium, I've been running for years or just started up. Everyone have their own network. For example, people who come from the UK, I've met the British. They have like a special group for people who come from the UK. In order to sign up, you have to show your passport. So and there is like a different level of membership. They are starting from free up to very expensive. That, for example, people come from the UK. And then if they have a group for the different lawyers, they have a group for accountancy. But one of the things that the first point you can start with is that if you are renting like a condo or a flat in your building, in many cases they have a gym and pool. You will find a lot of locals or different people that you can meet. If you're going to the local gym, you will meet people. If you're going to the local restaurant, it's because everyone is from somewhere.
They're trying to connect and socialize immediately. Yeah.
Yes. They are not closed like the UK that people are not talking to each other. No. Once you have an attraction or open a discussion, people can get and you talk, and that's how you can start building relations and having more understanding about Dubai itself.
Yeah, and what would you say are the problems or like the challenges of the relocation to UAE? Because it's pretty far from the US, for example, quite far from the UK, more or less. Also, if you're coming from Far East Asia, that's again far. So how would you say a nice relocation process looks like for an expat in Dubai?
It's the distance itself, it's 7 hours exactly, or sometimes 6.45 from Dubai to London. If you are using the large, for example, Emirates or Etihad airplanes, it's a very comfortable trip. It's not that because the airport system is very well connected, so you'll not feel that you are far away. It's look on paper or in the world, it's far away, but actually it's in the middle.
The flying routes are different, yeah.
Yes, if you are doing business with the UK, you can say the US a little bit, it's 12 hours. But if you're doing business from as far as Europe or as far as, you can say, Hong Kong, Dubai is very centralized. Or also, don't forget Middle East and Africa. If you're doing business with South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, whatever, that's a centralized location where you'll be able to use the trips would be much more convenient and easy because it's large planes, the prices are... It's convenient and it's very competition, so the price is very low compared to other destinations. I'll tell you a story. I've taken a trip from Dubai to London with 200 sterling pounds, and the same trip from Dubai to Istanbul, for example, it's triple the place, was 250. So that's why there's a competition. The routes are very they have a lot of traffic and a lot of very good pricing to travel almost everywhere.
That's fantastic. It's definitely a good hub for traveling, and popular cities are very well connected to Dubai. That's not a problem. Okay, Mo, so let's say people want to relocate to Dubai with their families. What's the easiest way to relocate to Dubai for, I don't know, like 6 months, a year? Should you hire a company to do that for you? Is it easy to find a flat? Just give us an overview. We're not going to go into details because we're going to have another show about that, but just tell us how would one relocate there if they want to live like short, medium term?
it's depending on what you're planning. For example, let's take an example of John. John is a British citizen. He's from the UK, and they have a family, a wife, and 2 kids. And he decided to move from the UK to Dubai. The first thing I advise him that you need to have a budget, not just budget about the 10K that we discussed, or whatever you're going for the premium package that could go up to 25 or more K. You need to have a budget for the schooling, the relocation, the payment for the property that you will rent, because the rent there, it's not like the West country. You have to sign up for at least 12 months, and in some cases you have to pay at least 6 or 12 months upfront, it depending on the time or the location.
So more just to interrupt there, sorry. So relocation, short, medium term, should go through private rentals or Airbnbs, because you can't really rent short term in Dubai. Is that what you're saying?
No, you can rent. I mean, the Airbnbs and they have the city itself. They have the highest numbers of hotels and short term rentals, whatever it's Airbnbs and hotel. But if you can find even hotels that you can stay by 1 month, and it give you the extremely good rate. So if you're planning to move there, I don't advise you to go Airbnb. Try to find hotels that go long-term deals, at least 1 to 3 months. The price will be very low, and you will be set up like seconds. You just go hotel, they have the Wi-Fi, they have the pool, they have everything to get yourself up and running. That's the first thing. And then the next step, if you're trying to find a property, find it from the local. Don't try to find the property from outside. Because normally renting agents or people who are renting, if you find that you have an international number, they can give you a higher price. So try to rent once you have a local number and once you have the visa, because they ask what you're doing in the country. Are you starting a business? You need to sign something called 12th check. The payment is done by the check. So you are committed to pay. If anything during the 12 months happen, you will be liable to pay the other checks.
Okay, so the strategy is completely different between medium, long term, and short term, right?
Yes. That's the thing. That's kind of information no one talks about it. You need to be ready. And for the family itself, the schools are very expensive. They have an international based school. The schools are not free. If you are hired by a company, they can provide you like education allowance or housing allowance. But if you're doing everything yourself and you have kids that coming with you, you need to be ready to pay a lot of fees for the schools. Okay?
Yeah.
There's no free schooling because there's no tax. You don't pay any tax, so you're not expecting anything on return.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool, Mo. So I think another thing we had on the agenda was, let me see what we have here, the banking system. So how is it to open a bank account for your newly created company, and also for your personal account? Yeah.
Let's do like a brief introduction about the banking system. The banking system in the UAE itself, for Dubai, is one of the best in the world. They have most advanced apps or online banking in the world. The service is very well tolerated to international expats. All the websites and all the apps are in English, so you'll not find problems like other countries where you try to find a bank that have an English speaking. All the staff are speaking English. The documents, everything is processed in English. So it's a very simple process. But you will not be able actually to open a bank account without the residence card. The residence card is called Emirates ID. That's your key to everything. You have like a residence number, it's put in the card, and you can take the card and actually go physically to the bank and open the account. Some banks will allow you to start the process online. You go for the bank online, you fill the form, you put your Emirates ID, you put your address, and then someone can call you, or they can send you the card directly, depending on the process. There's different ways. Here come like a little tricks. If you're coming from Europe or the US, Australia or New Zealand, it's very easy to open the bank account. There's no questions. It's very simple process. But if you're coming from like the Middle East or Africa or some Asian countries, that's where the restrictions come. They need to ask a question. You might need to provide bank statement from your own country. If you're starting a business, they might need to have a proof of your other business in your home country. So they need to build. They don't know you. You don't have a credit history. They just new to the country. So and accept that whatever you're trying to do, you have to prove from your home country what you're coming to do in the country. That's the thing.
Yeah. So they need some backtracking on your history and your.
It's depend. Some I have opened like 6-7 accounts. You can say 3 of them went like this. I give the bank my Emirates and my passport. They open no questions. 3 other banks, they start asking questions, and one of the bank refused me. I don't know why. It's so. It's you have to shop. You have to, and this is the same for the business is different. For the business, you have to provide more information. What kind of business you're coming here, and some banks require that you pay. Not it's that's where the money comes. You have to pay like a deposit. You have to pay like 50k dirhams. It's around 10k USD just to keep this money on the account. Otherwise, you pay a monthly service fees. That's all different by the bank.
But more critical question, can you open a bank account in Dubai, a personal bank account in Dubai, if you don't have the Emirati card, like the residence?
You can. Yes, it's called Emirates ID. Yes, you can open, but you will not get a checking account or current account. It's in the UK called current, in the US called checking account. You'll get saving account, which is just like a wallet. You just put the money. There's no checks. There's no overdraft. You'll not be able to do anything else. And here's the trick. If you don't have a current account or checking out which come with a check, you'll not be able to rent a property for long term.
So the system is well thought. So you can't really access the long term services unless you have the Emirati card, which is the residence. Yes, that's really smart.
Yes, that's a kind of protection, but it's an international city. They have to protect the system.
Sure. Cool. And more when it comes to the US and Canadian citizens, because a lot of people in our audience are from the US or from Canada, what kind of advice can you give them for relocation? Is there any difference between a European citizen or an Arab citizen moving to Dubai or an Asian citizen moving to Dubai vs the US and the Canadian citizen?
It's depending on some countries, for example, it's depending on, like, you can say, like, political issues. In some parts, or you can say some years, you can have restrictions. People from certain countries in Asia or Africa, they are banned from opening business operating in the UAE. That's okay. You could say I don't want to mention the countries, but it's come and go. It's come and go. From now, you can say that if you are from Europe, there's no issues. So
it's a smooth process if you're a clean person and you've got a clean background.
Yes, that's it. For Canada, they must ask you a couple of documents from your Canadian or your bank operation or bank account that you already have in Canada. For the US, they have a different system because you have to sign up for the factor, because you are liable to pay tax on your worldwide income as a US citizen wherever you live. So if you are, and this is here the trick, I have a couple of people who were born in the US, but they actually are not American citizen. They are re-announced their citizenship. So if you are American citizen and have a proof of the American citizen, you have to provide a lot of documents to make sure that the bank will accept you.
Mm-hmm. So it's I would say slightly more complicated if you're a US citizen in general.
Yes. But it's the same. It's the factor agreement it's the same for all over the world. This is something not related to the UAE, but they're trying to make there's something called know your customer. All the banks will run a different level of risk on whatever you are. If you are, that's why when I opened 7 accounts, 1 of them were rejected, and 3 was done instantly, and 3 asked for more documents. You can have the same thing. You can have like no risk, so the account opening instantly. They put everything on the system. If you have a similar name or you are born, I have a very funny story. I know a Canadian citizen who was born actually in Dubai 30 years ago, but he just been there 3 years and then he left. And when he tried to do anything outside in bankings or traveling. He got troubles because he was born in Dubai, and you have to prove that he is Canadian citizen. Even he have lost his passport in Canada, so get into like a trouble of hell just to prove that he's yes, a loop. I mean, your city, your location of city, your name, your nationality, or the origin could bring up a compliance issue when certain flags. And some other people doesn't matter. It's depending on the system the bank is using.
Yeah, okay, that is pretty clear. And in terms of opening up a business in Dubai as an American or Canadian, is that anyhow different from what a European would do? Is there a different process, or they're treating this as the same when opening up a company in Dubai?
No, the opening the company is very straightforward. You just need to provide your passport, copy of your passport, what kind of company it could be, service-based company or selling products. How much money you would like to invest, how many visas you would like to need. It's a very standard process. It's unless you have a ban, which is very limited countries, everyone is welcome.
Yeah, great. Mo, I think we're getting close to the end of the show. Is there anything else? I think we've got about 5 more minutes. Is there anything else you want to mention that we haven't touched on?
Yes, I mean the first advice for anyone who would like to set up or move to the United Arab Emirates: do a lot of research. Don't just see these fancy videos about the UAE and see that everything will be pink and purple. No, do a lot of research. Try to meet people who already moved or gone through the process, so you understand you're ready. You need just documents. You need a lot of funds at the beginning to keep things up and running. And if you are trying to open a company, use professionals. I've seen people who go for the low-cost service provider, and then they end up with like a dead zone because they open the company, but they'll not be able to open a bank account because the service provider is not professional enough or not helping them enough. Or they try to make more money out of them. So you need to be aware of the sharks or the marketing tactics that try to grab you without telling you the real story from the beginning. That's the first thing. If you have an issue, try to know as much, because the rules and regulation in the UAE is they always in English and Arabic. So you will find answers, but if you don't understand, if you get any kind of troubles or try to solve a problem, you need to understand that it's because it's international city, so the cultural mindset is mixed. It's not just European or Middle East or Asian. It's mixed of everything. So you need to be ready to accept the different mentality and different mindset with dealing with anything in the country.
Yeah, that sounds fair enough. Considering what you've said so far, I think it's a good conclusion. And Mo, also, I think you've got experience with moving people to Dubai. You've dealt with the authorities there. So if you guys need any help, we're happy to help. There's a link in the description. Just click that. We've got an easy form, and then we'll get back to you as soon as possible and try to help your UAE relocation.
Definitely, yeah. I appreciate all the information, Andrew. And I just would like to mention at the end that this is the first of series. This is the first show that we will have about the United Arab Emirates. We'll talk also about the other cities in the UAE, not just Dubai, and how to prepare yourself for the move, what kind of, if you're moving with family. And then we have specific information about if you're moving from the US or the UK or the EU in general, to what you need to be ready when starting and doing your move. And always stay global, my friends. Thanks so much for watching.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Mo, and thanks everyone for watching.